And I'll spotlight you. There we go. Perfect. We are ready to go.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to Thursday workouts again with Megan. And we are going to get started right away today. Hi, Doreen. Thank you for coming and letting me know. Just let me know if you need to alter certain things. Doreen, I'm assuming you went and got checked out by physio to have the diagnosis of that. So that's good. You probably have some exercises to do. For everybody else, just follow along. I'll try and give regressions and progressions depending on what we're all working with. And for those of you that are a little bit newer, like I just told Doreen, feel free to just update me in the chat what's going on for you. If you feel like it would help or give you a better experience working out today, I'm more than happy to do that and help in any way that I can. So our theme today, we usually do themes. We're going to do some release work, which we typically do anyways to warm up, but really getting all the spots in our pushing and pulling muscles. A little bit of maybe release work in the lower body today. And then we are going to get into some pushing and pulling. So some of the equipment that I want us to have today, any type of band, preferably longer than mine. This is a little bit short. But a TheraBand would work, band with handles would work. If you have a setup already on like a door or something, that's fine. But I would also like a free band that's not hooked up to anything, because I do like to get into some of those external rotators and internal rotators in the shoulder. And then we are going to be doing some weights today. So I'm going to demonstrate with soup cans, but feel free to use light weights if you have anything, depending on where you're working. But for anybody that I know that's in here, I would stick to like nothing higher than 3 pounds per hand, per arm. And then even water bottles would work, just something nice and light. Okay. And then last but not least, our trusty dowel. So something that's wider than your shoulders and nice and easy to grip for you and doesn't need to be weighted at all. So I just get these cut at home hardware. You can go do that for next time. We usually use these, or you can use an umbrella, dead hockey stick, dragon boat paddle, whatever it is that you have at home to use for this. Even a cane. Some of us have canes too. That would be great. All right, so we'll put those aside and we're going to get started with just some of our release work. So get really tall in your seat, get nice and pulled up. Think of sitting right on your hip bones. So some of us that have a lot of tightness, we tend to get like the sit bones are rolled under. So I don't know if you can see, and we kind of get that slouch. So even if you can like get the flesh out from under you and sit as tall as you can, and that's just going to align our spine a little better so that we can get into these muscles and get our core activated even before we start moving. Okay, so we're going to get right into the pecs. So we're relaxing this hand and that arm, and we're going to go right deep into the pec muscles. If you are female or you have breast tissue, you want to work behind the breast tissue. So the muscle is actually underneath. And if you don't, then it'll look a little different. You're going to work like across here. Okay, so working with what you have today, make sure once again that you're sitting nice and tall. Okay, feeling those feet in the floor, getting nice and grounded even at the beginning of our workout. And just being aware that you're breathing. Okay, we're not going to be practicing the breath today, but making sure that you are breathing. And if we can get it coming in from the belly, that would be nice. And if you've taken my class before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, and then from there you can start working your way up into the pec minor. So it's going to be a little bit above the breast tissue, almost like right at armpit level. And just getting right in there, finding the spots that feel maybe a bit sticky, or maybe they are tender. Okay. And then we're going to work our way up into the subclavicle. So subclavicle is just below, you can see my collarbone here, that ridge. You're just going to go right below it. But I also like to kind of come right into that and into the anterior shoulder here. If you don't feel much here, you can come into the shoulder. And that's always an option too. Okay, excellent. And then we're going to get right up into the traps. So I just always support my hand or my elbow with my other hand. And we're going to get right into the muscles up in the neck here. So nice seesawing back and forth motion. Or you can get a little more intense. I like this one. And just pulling, it's like you're trying to pull that muscle away. Trying to separate it and just kind of getting a little bit of separation from the fascia and the muscle. These muscles tend to be really tight, especially if you're like a manual wheelchair user or you use any type of like crutches or walking sticks even, and definitely walkers, or if you just have some stress in your life. We tend to hold a lot of stress up here. Okay, and then once we've done that, you're going to find that area. You're going to pin down on it. Make sure the chin is tucked back. And then we're going to pull the ear away to the other side. So pin and then pull. We're just trying to add a little bit of length. So we're pinning the muscle down and then creating like a tension with it so that we can get a little bit more length in the trapezius muscle. Okay. Last one. Good. Shake that out. Okay, we're going to do all that on the other side. So coming in right into the pecs. I can hear all the birds chirping today. Sounds nice. Okay, and getting right in. Finding the areas that are tender. Really trying to not push against yourself. So if we tense up with this arm, it's going to tense the pecs up. And I just felt myself do it. So I'm just giving you guys a reminder. Just try and relax that arm as best as you can. Okay, and then starting to get into that pec minor. Right above. Getting nice little circles. Just trying to get some nice movement, feeling that work. And then getting up into subclavicle. So right below that collarbone. And if you choose, coming right into the top of the front area of the shoulder. If you find yourself tensing up against this, then you're probably going a little too deep. So just lighten it up a little bit. Sometimes less is more. Okay, and then we're going to come in. Nice, getting up into that trap. And then just take notice here if you're the same intensity or the same tension from your other side. You might notice it's totally different. Okay, and then you might not notice. Okay. You can pull if you want, if that feels good. Okay, and then when you've done that for a few seconds, we're gonna find that spot to pin down. Make sure this chin is tucked back. We're gonna pin and then we're gonna pull away. Pin and pull. Pin and pull. Good. Last one here. And 10. Awesome. Good. Shake that out. Just give your neck a little bit of a side to side. See if that loosened anything up for you. Okay. And then we're going to take our other arm that we started with, bring it behind your head. Try and get that elbow up to the ceiling. And we're going to expose this side. And we're going to do some nice, just gentle activation slaps. So we're not trying to hurt ourselves. We're just trying to get some activation, some sensation to this side of the body. And this is what we're going to be using when we do our pulling. Okay. Good, and then finishing that up. Awesome. And then we're gonna go to the other side. So other arm up above the head, exposing that armpit. Nice activation slaps or taps. And awesome. Good, waking that up. All right, and now we're gonna go into wrists. So we're gonna bring one hand out and you're just gonna do circles. Switching up the order of things today. And 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8. See how this part of my arm isn't moving? It's just the wrist. And then we reverse it. 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's 10. Awesome. Shake that out. And now we're going to do the other side. So other hand comes up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and then other way. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Good. Now we're going to get into a half circle. So we're going to go nose leads, half circle, and then end at the other side. And half circle, end at the other side, and half circle. Leading with your nose, really important to keep your neck in a safe position. If you have rods in your neck, your upper back, this might not be accessible to you. So you can just do a tip or look as far as you can. You can use your eyes only. That's a nice reflex that we can practice. Okay, good. And now we're going to tip up, sitting up as tall as you can, center, tuck the chin, and center. And we go up and center and tuck the chin and center. And we go up and center and tuck the chin and center. Good. And again, up and center and tuck the chin. And now we're just going to do a tip. Feel the work you did on that release. 2, just take notice. Does it feel better? Does it feel like nothing, like you didn't do anything? There's no wrong answer. Just notice. And 6, and 7, and 8. This is 9. Good. And again, 10. And now we're going to bring those arms to our shoulders, and elbows are going to go 1. Nice and big. 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, 7. Good. Big. 8, and 9. This is 10, and we're going to touch the elbows from the front. Boom. And then other way. 1, if you can. 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then last touch, 10, touch, and then we're going to round down, tucking the chin, rounding in the spine, all the way down. Good. Deep breath while you're down here. Slowly roll up. Think of using your abdominals to come back up. Hands are going to go behind you if you can. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart up to the ceiling and make an opposite C. So an opposite C curve that you just did. And deep breath here. And then we do it again. Tuck that chin, rounding in the spine. All the way down, looking between your legs. Slowly rolling up. Hands behind you. Eyes to the sky, heart up to the ceiling. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Deep breath here and transitioning 2 more. Tuck that chin, rounding in the spine. This should feel really nice Trying to get a nice, big, rounded back. And then when we go back up, slowly rolling up, it's like you want to make the same shape, but now it's the opposite way. So we're trying to make rounding in the front body now. And good. We have one more together as a group. Big inhale, exhale, tuck your chin, and rounding in the spine. Beautiful. And slowly rolling on up. Good. Hands behind you, heart to the ceiling. This is your last extension. And then today we're going to reach across our body, reach, and then you're going to sweep all the way, try and reach behind you, and then back to center. Okay. Reach across the body. So we're getting a twist. Okay. In that twist, our hips aren't doing any wiggle parties. So we're keeping our hips nice and square, feet flat on the floor or on your foot plates. Reach. Notice how I'm using my other arm to help me. I'm using it for leverage for the twist, and that's okay. Over, because we're really trying to get torso twist here. Over and center. And again, rotate, exhale, reach. And center, good. And over, exhale, reach. And again, last time, over and reach. Making yourself really big in space. This is your last one. Reach. And excellent, good. Okay, we're gonna lean over a little bit and we're gonna do something called stir the pot. So I'm just gonna lower this. So you're just gonna make a really easy movement, and it's just like a momentum swing. So I'm not actively swinging my arm like this. It's very, very, just very loose and easy. And we're just trying to get a nice big range of motion in the shoulder. Just like you're stirring a big pot of soup. And then we go the other way. Just really easy. I shouldn't have said big. It's just a small circle, but we want to get away from controlling the whole circle. So we're seeing if we can just let momentum do it ourselves, or do it itself. Okay, so it's really gentle. Other side. Okay, so it's 10 in one direction, 10 in the other. Okay, really just doing circles here, really easy. It's super light. I'm not doing much work here. And another way. So if you feel your shoulder really cranking to get the circle, it's too active. This should be pretty passive. Just small. Okay, good. Then we're going to contrast that with active circles. So now our hands are out, arms stretched out, fingertips are wide, and we're going to do active little circles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then go backwards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we do this again, forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where are your shoulders? 9, 10. Make sure they're not up at your ears. 2. We've switched directions. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Give yourself a big hug. Twist and twist, and then come back to center. Open. Switch your top arm. Twist and open, twist and open, switching your top arm every time. Twist and open. Good. Take those up, down. Okay, last thing for the wrists, and then we're going to get started. One hand out. So you're going to pick up that big thing of sand. So squeeze the sand, squeeze it as hard as you can. And then you're going to flick water off your fingers. Squeeze, pick up the sand, let it squeeze out the sides, and then flick water off your fingers. Squeeze, lift it up, and flick. If you don't like having your arms stretched out here, if it's like an injury, you can bring it in here. But otherwise, I want to see arms out. Okay, get that sand, pick it up, squeeze, and flick. 2 more. Pick up the sand. Squeeze as hard as you can with your fist. Flick. Last one. Pick up the sand. Squeeze it out of the hand and flick. Beautiful. Other side. Squeeze the sand out of the hand. Squeeze and big flick. Get the water off those fingernails. And up. Pick up the sand. Squeeze and flick. Good. And pick up the sand. Squeeze and flick. And you're halfway. Squeeze and flick. 2. Last one. Make that flick nice and hard. It's like you could spray me with water. And flick. Beautiful. Shake that out. Awesome. Okay, grab your dowel. We're going to do our first series of 3. And we're going to be doing around the world. So reminder, a lot of these, most of these, probably all of them, all of these exercises are on Ocean Insider Club. So if you're an Ocean Insider Club member, you will find all of these on there, including the lower body ones, because we are expanding into ambulatory exercises. So that's cool. All right, so here we go. We're going to lift up, keep the chin slightly tucked. So it's like we have a peach under our chin, and then down. So just simple 10 here to get nice and warm, getting a little more range in those shoulders because we didn't do any overhead yet. Okay, keep those ribs from popping. Think of keeping the abdominals nice and drawn in. We are halfway. If you have pain in overhead, then don't go overhead. Just go to the height that feels pain-free for you. Okay. And I don't see anyone in here that uses a chest strap, but it could be somebody I don't know using a chest strap. So if that's the case, then you don't need to take the arms away from your body. You can always bring it up through the body. So if I'm here, I've been showing this way, you can always bring it up through the body, and that will help you stabilize a little better. Okay? Good. Once you're done that, grab your band. And we're going to do, one hand is going to hold. We're going to warm up the rotator cuff right away and get it strengthening. So one hand is going to be around the band. You can do it like this. You can have it around the wrist. You can even just do this. And then the other hand is going to be holding the band neutral. So neutral means keeping the palm facing the other side. So see how my palm is here? If this isn't possible for you, if you can't do this, like if you need to wrap it around your hand, then try and make your palm up. We just don't want to be here. So neutral or palm up, okay? And you're going to stabilize with the other hand. So this hand is going to stay still. And then you're going to keep this elbow into the rib, and you're going to open up and try and externally rotate in that shoulder. So you can see my shoulders opening. So it's just opening and closing, but I'm not pulling the elbow away from my body. It's staying really close to my body. Okay. Eight, 9, and 10. Good. And let's go to the other side. So I'll switch. Okay. Here we go. So this is stable. This hand's stabilizing. I can hold neutral on this side. Elbow in. If you're finding it hard to keep your elbow in, you can always take like your phone or like a towel, rolled up tea towel, and just hold it at your elbow. We don't want to have it up in the armpit. We want to have it at the elbow. And then you can do it like this. And the goal is to not drop the phone as you do it, right? So you're keeping that elbow in at the rib cage. Okay? And that will just give you some sensory feedback. And 6, good. Sitting up as tall as you can for this one. And 8, 9, and 10. Awesome, good. Taking that out. Okay, and then we're going to do those again one more time. So just a quick series. So here, just 2 back to back. So up and over. And then we have our external shoulder rotation for both hands. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Up and down. Remember the variations you can do if this doesn't work for you. Good. We're going to 10 here. Make sure those ribs aren't popping, especially if you're doing this standing. Make sure your ribs aren't popping open when you take your hands over your head. Okay. Back of the neck nice and long. And then that is 10 for me. Good. Taking that aside, setting up again with your band. So one elbow is going to stabilize, other hand is going to go out with the band. So neutral or palm up. And here we go. External shoulder rotation up, external, and 3. Should feel your back body working here and maybe like down the side of your shoulder. And 8. This can also be like this anchor, this hand can also be like a door handle. If you need a little more stability and you need to have your other hand down holding a chair or something, you can just hook this onto a door handle. And if you're seated, that's typically a really good height. Okay, here we go. Other side, setting up. 3, 2, and 1, open and in. Nice. The goal is to try and get the arm like pretty far open. If you're finding that your hand doesn't really go very far, then you want to take the band away and just try and do it without resistance and work on that range of motion. Because range of motion is number 1. If you don't have that, you're never going to get the strength. So we got to get range of motion first. And we're done. Shake that out. Awesome. Get a sip of water. We're only doing that twice, and we're going to get into a series of 3 exercises for 3 rounds. Okay. We're going to start with the weights. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit more of a challenging exercise in terms of it's going to be a combination. So we're going to start with bicep curls. So we're going to have our chest nice and tall, shoulders drawing back, elbows are pinned in at my ribs. And we're going to think fingernails to armpits and then come down with control. Fingernails to armpits, come down with control. Okay, so this is going to be stage 1. But we're going to combine it. So we're going to go 1. And then you're going to flip the cans or your weights to show me the bottom. You're going to press, bring it back down, and then all the way down at the end of the bicep curl. So a little bit of a brain teaser today. So we curl, flip, press, curl back to this position, and then down. Okay, I'm going to keep going at this pace. And everybody can just catch up and follow along. Like I said, it is a brain teaser. But this is good. We're going to create some new neural pathways if we can master this. And up, good. And up. Halfway here, we're doing 10 of these. 6, everything's basically 10 today. And pull. 7. And pull. Press 8. Keeping tall. Feel those biceps working on the curl. 9. You can also do this with no weight. And 10. And then leave the cans in your hands. Bring the hands in, and we're going to cross punch. Here we go. 10 each side. You can also put the weights down and do this without. This is 2 and 1 in. Good. Okay, weights aside. We are going to get into a row, so bent over row today. So I'm going to put let's see if my new camera falls off or not when I do this. So I'm going to be placing the band around under my feet. Okay, you can probably get what I'm doing here. Okay, and then from there, if we need to have some support, it's good to have like a pillow or something here. If you don't have a full hinge where we can stay upright, I would recommend placing a low pillow or a ball or something. I can demonstrate with my roller. This is a little big, but you'd want to hinge forward like this so that we have support. Okay, so coming forward, eyes are on the floor. So you're going to keep looking down. You're going to grab the band. Okay, and then you're going to do a row. So you're going to pull the band like so. Okay, and 3. That's it. This cannot be done lying down. Because you would have nowhere to pull. So it has to be seated upright. But what you can do instead of this are scap squeezes, Doreen, and I'll show that in a second. And 8. Rowing cannot be done lying down unless you have weights on your ceiling, or a band on your ceiling, which I'm pretty sure none of us do. Okay, and that was 10. So finish up that set. I'll just show what scap squeezes are for those of you that aren't able to do a row right now. So sitting up tall, you want to put your hand right in between your shoulder blades. Just give yourself a touch. If you can't reach there, you can just tap with your dowel. Get some kinesthetic feedback. And then I want you to think of squeezing your shoulder blades. So you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades, that spot that you just squeezed, and then relax. Okay, and this is an alternative to the row because we're still going to hit those little shoulder stabilizers that I want you to hit. And back, okay? So you would do 10 of those instead. Okay, Doreen? All right, last one, because we did this, press down, then we had our bent over row. And then we did this one in the middle, and then our bent over row was 3rd. So that was 3. So it's technically 4 because this is 1. That's a second exercise, right? It's a combination. So we call those compounds. So we're going to do this one, then bring the weights up. Same thing, boom, punching here, or with no weights. And then we're going to grab the band and do a bent over row or scap squeezes. Okay, we're going to do 2 more rounds together, get a little sip of water, and then we're going to get right into it. I realize the setup on this might be a little challenging for some people. So if you want to leave your band down at your feet or under your foot plate, that's perfect because you don't need it otherwise. Or you can even attach it to a door and just do a seated row this way. Okay? I'll let everybody decide that on their own. All right, back to our bicep curls with our overhead press. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to curl. Turn the weights to face me, bring it back, and down. Good, and we curl. Flip, and down. Curl. Good breathing. Keeping those elbows glued at those rib cage. I shouldn't see, like when we come here to the curl, I shouldn't see this. I shouldn't see the elbows come up. The elbows are staying glued to the ribs. Good. And this is 10. And relax. Good. I'll take a couple seconds, let everybody catch up. Then we're going to come right up into your punching, cross body. So you're either holding weights or you're putting them down. Here we go. 1. Really cross that body. Feet are flat. Feet are not moving. Hips are not wiggling. We really warmed up our rotation today, so that's what we're doing here. Rotating from the belly button slightly as you punch across. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, putting those aside. Setting up your band. So I'm not going to show you again, but I'm just going to be putting it down at my feet. Okay, support here if you need it. I'm just gonna step on the band, getting nice and long. Okay, coming in here. 3, 2, 1. Keep your eyes on the floor so that we can keep the back of the neck nice and long. Okay, driving those elbows like back behind you. Okay, neck is long, shoulders are away from those ears. This is 9 and 10, and take a little break. I'm going to leave my band down there because we're going to do a third set. So get some water, take a little break. One more on this. I hope I'm not moving too fast for anyone. We have some new names in here that I didn't see join in, so welcome. If you have any questions or comments, there's a chat. Don't be shy. Okay, otherwise we're going to do this again. So once again, you don't need to use weights. If you like the weight for the first combo, that's fine. And if you want to put them down for the punches, it's a good idea, especially if you tend to fall forward. It's good to just do no weight and focus on a quick pull in to see if we can stay nice and tall and utilize as much as we can here. Okay. All right. Grabbing your cans or your weights or your whatever you're using. And last time with this circuit, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we bicep curl in. Overhead and then come back down. Also, I didn't say it, but you can also do this with one arm at a time. If you need your other hand to stabilize on your chair, you could just do like here. And then you could do the other side after, right? Or you could do 5 on one side and then switch. Whatever you want to do, that's going to help you stabilize. You definitely don't need to do both arms at the same time. Keep breathing, getting tall. Feel those feet in the floor. This is the last combo here. Finish out that bicep curl, and then we're going to curl up again to meet up here. Punches, cross, here we go. Halfway. And that's 1. All right, setting those aside. Okay, coming down. My band is already set up. Reminder that this can also be at a door if you want to do it seated up. Otherwise, you're doing scap squeezes. Okay, so grabbing that band, getting that support here if you don't have a hinge. Eyes on the floor, so we're keeping our neck nice and long. Okay, and here we go, and we're rowing and rowing. Think of squeezing those shoulder blades. Shoulders away from the ears. Really bending forward if you can. Squeeze. And that is 10. Just 10, everyone. Good. Taking that band out. Okay, grab a sip of water. And we're going to move on to a new circuit. So we're still going to be using the weights, but we're going to start with the band. We're going to start off with the band. We're still going to use all the equipment, actually. So have them handy. The first thing we're going to do, and I'll just talk here while everybody's kind of getting ready, is it's like a sword pull or a bow and arrow type exercise. We've done this in the past. So once again, if you have any grip compromises, it might be a good idea to have a loop, and you can always put it in your hand like so. Other hand can get wrapped if you want, okay? Otherwise, just hold the band however. Okay, and it's like you have a big bow, like Cupid's bow. So you're gonna have your arms stretched out, and then the other hand is gonna be over reaching that other hand. Okay, and the band should be loose. Then it's like you're wiping your arm on a table. So this is a tabletop here, and I'm gonna drive my hand, and it's like you're gonna smell the band. So the band is right next to my nose, and then bring it back. So we're pulling that imaginary bow and arrow, and then back. And we're just looking over our front hand. Unless you're looking at me, then that's fine. Okay? Just if you need some assistance to start. But once you feel the movement, I want you to look over your front hand. Okay, once again, just 10 here. Feeling that shoulder blade gliding along your back. And that's 10. Good. I'll be slow in the transition so that everybody can catch up. And we're going to switch sides. Okay. So I'm going to switch my hands. Okay. Wrapping my arm around. Here we go. So the other hand is out. You're looking over your hand. Okay. Other arm is reaching. Remember that tabletop. So really important, this elbow doesn't come and go like this. We have to stay tall. So keep it right along a table. We're smelling that band, and then back. Three more. Okay, this can also be done at an anchor point. So if you don't have the stability to hold your arm out like this, you can have this on a door, go sideways to the door, and you can do it that way on a door knob. Okay? All right, grabbing your weights again, or no weights. So if it's no weights and it's an angel, and you're just going to be doing range of motion, opening the pecs, bringing the hands to the sides, and we're trying to get a full stretch over the head without letting the chin go up. So we're keeping that peach. This is option 1. Option 2 is an overhead press with dumbbells or cans or whatever you're using. Okay, everything is 10. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Press. So different press than what we did at the beginning with the combo. Seven, good. Sitting up tall. 9, breathe. 10, and awesome. Good. So you can also, if you want to do half with weight, half angel, that's fine too. Whatever it is you want to do, okay? I just want us to keep moving. That is the key. Okay, last thing in the circuit, grab your dowel. This is for time. Okay, here we go. So 1 minute, we're going to be doing kayaks. On my back, should I go overhead or up? Doreen, if you want to go up, that makes it a chest press, and that's fine. You can do that. Overhead will be a little different. If you want range of motion in your shoulders, I would use no weight and go over your head. It's going to be a little more intense because gravity is going to be pulling you open, so that might feel good for you. So try that, and if that doesn't work, you can take weights and go up towards the ceiling. Okay? So first one would be a range of motion exercise, or the second would be like a resistance exercise. You can decide. But you have 2 options there. Okay, so otherwise we're going to come in 1 minute of kayaks. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Sitting up nice and tall, driving that kayak into the floor or into the water, your imaginary paddle. And some of us are actually using paddles. Dragon boaters in here. Okay, and we're really rotating and twisting. My hips are in the frame, so notice how my hips aren't moving. I'm moving from my trunk, right? We're not doing these like big wiggle parties. We want to stay tall, get this, try and stay stable. Really rotating through the trunk. Even if it's not a huge rotation, I don't care. I just want you to focus on that section of your body. And we're taking that arm and driving it down. Shoulders are nice and far down away from their ears. I've been blabbing the whole time. You only have 15 seconds left. Breathing, control. And you are done. That was 1 minute. Awesome. Good. All right. Take a little breather. Get some water. And then we're going to try and get that circuit all out one more time. Okay. Starting with your bow and arrow. Okay. So I'm setting myself up. Reminder, if I'm going a little fast at the end here, it's just because I want to fit everything in. And you can always go back into this recording and pause. Okay. So here we go. Setting up. One hand is wrapped. Other hand is wrapped as you need it. Elbow up, driving along that tabletop. And we're pulling along the table and the band stays close to your nose. It's like you're smelling it. Feeling that shoulder blade gliding along the back. Looking at that top hand. And awesome, good. All right, switching sides. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. And we're pulling along that table. High elbow. And 3. I don't really care if your palm is down or facing you. Whatever feels better for your pull. And that's 10. Awesome, good. Okay. Coming back into your cans, you can put your band away. So we're either doing angel or angel on the floor or seated angel, or we're doing overhead press. Here we go. Peach under your chin. 3, 2, and 1. Make sure you're getting it right over your head. Nice and smooth with your movement. Good. Breathe. And slowly bring it down. Awesome. Okay, putting the cans aside. You're done with that last thing today. Kayaks, dowel kayaks, 1 minute. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Sitting tall, keeping the hips still, really rotating through your belly button. Breathing. Control over speed. So get your control down first, and then you can start working up with your speed. Okay, you're already halfway there. This is your finish line coming up. So stay strong. Keep that fluid movement to the very, very end. You have about 12 seconds left. Keep it going, even if it feels tough. You've got this for 5 more seconds. 2, and that's your time. Awesome. Okay, good, everybody. So just to end quickly, let's just do just stretch for the back of the neck, because we did do some overhead work. So we're going to be here. Imaginary $100 bill at your chin. Make a bunch of sexy double chins, and then grab it. Okay, and we should be feeling this stretch. Maybe down the back, up into the neck, into the base of the skull. Okay. Make sure you're sitting tall or we won't feel this. You're on the clock for 30 seconds. Deep breathing. And slowly release. Give your head a shake, roll those shoulders out. Awesome. Okay, everybody, that is your workout for today. We did push-pull. I hope that you enjoyed it. I gave a lot of alternatives, so if you want to go back and do this workout, you can. All the alternatives are there. And you can find all those exercises online, and soon to have a little bit more. We're going to have some more of the lower body exercises for strength and mobility on there quite soon. So thank you. If you have any other questions or anything, just let me know. And I hope to see all of you next week, same time, same place. And for those of you that are new, thanks for coming.